Yes.
Yep, it's recording.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we have the finals for today's box tournament at Top Games. And it is Jake Hill versus Hi. So is this a mirror match?
Yeah.
So now we have mirror matches. So the match we just saw in the semifinals, it's the same thing. Control mirror match.
5, 6, 7. I'll keep. Hello. Turn.
Go.
Alashon, turn.
Go.
Lingering souls.
Sure.
Turn after that.
Did it. Good. Sure.
Swing for 2.
Sure.
Turn.
Alchemy.
Okay.
Results.
Result.
Leave for a minute. We already have a full board over here.
Well, 2 control decks are just going to pass turns until they get up their lands. Okay.
Face. Results.
Yep. Results.
Ace.
+1. Good. Good.
End turn. Mill 3. Oh, I'm tapping that much. I gotta make sure I do my mana right. Yeah, it's gonna be that way.
Souls.
Tension sphere.
Sure.
Ooh, detention sphere removing Jace from the game. That is nasty.
Huh?
Trigger.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. If they fizzle out, I forget about that. Yeah, your turn.
So you swung 2 at him, right?
Yeah, it don't matter. It fizzles out.
Fizzes out, Jace.
Oh,
Yeah, he triggered Jace and it still remains until the end of my turn.
okay.
No 10.
Alright?
No 10.
Mill 10? Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10.
Yep, good. Good.
It's dangerous to do, milling someone that has the graveyard recursion in there.
Chapel. I'm gonna bring souls from the graveyard. Sure. Put these 2 down here. Swing.
Jace, me.
Yeah, Jace.
Okay.
Turn.
Interesting. Jake going after Jace rather than the wife.
No 10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good.
Mill 10? Or 3.
Whoa, 10. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Three.
Whoa.
That's a lot of mana you got there, you know.
He was wishing it was 10.
Yeah.
Ooh, he hit a terminus into the graveyard. That is a good mill.
No, it's not as bad if I'm in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, neither doing creatures. Oh, so this is just straight up control versus control. Okay, that's...
Lingering Souls.
Sure.
Augur Bolus.
Good. I'm tapped out.
Sphinx of Revelation.
Sure.
Turn.
And Milton. Good turn. Can get count? Can get count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow,
Okay.
that is nasty.
Go.
So in Millback, that speeds up things
Yeah.
tremendously.
Oh, and then dealing him like that, that's going to hurt him if he tries to Sphinx of Revelation. Because he doesn't want to draw it
It's slowing down
forwards.
the
Yep.
Land for the turn.
Sure. He's Asian.
Swing out.
Taking me, Jace.
Chase. Bounce 1.
Sure.
5.
Take one. Oh, you took one.
Lingering Souls.
Let me spend it.
Alright. Turn.
I'll draw a card.
Alright.
Milton.
Mill 10.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. They would have been stuck together.
All the dads. That's a lot of the dads.
In a very creatureless state, like walking like Jace is a very hard target.
I just saw the Lingering Souls. I thought that it was, you're going to have more creatures. You know, there's that, and there's Snapcaster, and that sort of stuff.
There's something here that I'm waiting to see and wondering if it's able to be
Go.
played right now. I want to see
How much money you got?
if anything like
It's open.
that.
Two.
Draw. I'll pay 2.
Sure. That's fine.
The confidence of high right now. Sure, do it. Do it.
There's something that I know about.
Well, there's no Emrakul right now. There
Psychic
was-
Spiral.
Being dead.
What's, wait, what
Psychic
just
Spiral.
happened?
That's what I was sitting here wondering about. I thought Jake might have one. Psychic Spiral reshuffles all your cards
Game
from your
for me?
graveyard into your library. And the target player mills as many cards as were in your graveyard at the time.
Oh my god, that was
I won.
nasty. Game 1 Jake, but was it a top deck Psychic Spiral?
No, I've
So
had
he was
it.
holding it. That's why I wasn't
That's the
freaking
reason
out.
I asked
Okay,
him.
yeah, no, I was wondering why he wasn't freaking me out. I was like, what the...
That's the reason why Jake wasn't freaking out when he saw how many
Listen,
he'd been
you got
milling. They allowed him
outbid
to
on
keep
eBay.
milling him without targeting Jace or any other artifact.
That is...
So he was sitting there with a Psychic Spiral knowing how much he was being milled and that he would just flip it around. Although he was gambling with the idea that he might not have a counter.
That was some cunning stuff. I was like, Jake is dead. He has 3 turns. He's going down.
Well, one
Psychic
turn with
Spiral.
that Jace out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he had 1 more turn, and then he was out. Wow. Main boarding and Psychic Spiral.
It's always good when you're playing mill.
Wow.
Because you know it can go into
Yeah.
late game.
Well, I mean, the metagame at the shop, a lot of people play mill, so that does make sense. I mean, if you know you're going to get 3 mill decks and you know that that's an auto win, I mean, you do it.
Blocks are declared. It's all then cycle. Okay, game 2. And if I had declared this too, that would have been enough.
Of course, then again, we're also looking at high, and then the last time he went against Tyson, he learned really quick how to play against the deck, and then just came back out of nowhere.
Yeah, his sideboarding was definitely top notch with the semifinals match.
Yeah. So we gotta wonder. You know, we've seen High, we've seen how he plays. We don't really know what Jake's gonna be coming up with.
Well, I know High's not going to forget about that cycle spiral from here on forth. He's going to be watching and keeping his
Man open.
he's going to be trying to intimidate Jake into believing that he has a cancel, even when he doesn't. He's going to be trying to keep that open because he wants Jake to make the misplay. He doesn't want to with an Esper deck like this going against another Esper deck, especially with it being mill. They're going to be looking for each other to make mistakes, and the best way to do that is basically to play poker in matchup. So you're going to throw in your poker face, you're going to play it out, and you're going to see who makes the first mistake first, because that will usually determine who loses the game at that point. Because mill, when playing against something else, can come back and can really reassert itself. But when playing another mill that's higher tier, one really bad mistake or one really decent mistake that you will just need that card later can really just screw you up for the rest of the game. And you'll be thinking about it, it'll be on your mind.
Well, I mean, sometimes you'll have the chance to play something. You'll think, does he have what it takes to stop me? So you won't play what you have, so you have the man up with your counter spell.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what you see when these two decks go against each other. These two control decks, they'll each be holding out, thinking, do I play something now or do I wait? So if they see me tap out, they're going to dump their hand.
Yeah,
So you got this very slow, saving up of mana.
I'm hoping not to see too much of Turtle because just with the time limits of the rounds, I'd like to see this game go to its final turns. But I understand with a mill deck like this, it's got definite potential in this the final round to go into sudden death, possibly even a tie.
Yeah. Well, no, that would mess up the whole standings up. If they both tie, because right now whoever wins this will probably get first place.
I win.
Yeah.
Because I have a draw.
Yeah, no.
He
If
wins
High wins this,
tiebreaker.
he gets it.
Yeah. Because he'd be 0-2. You go first.
So yeah, High's in a good position. If he can hold off for even a draw, he still wins the tournament.
I don't face though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll keep.
Sure.
All time turn.
Good.
Turn.
Good.
End turn. Charm. Draw card. Untap. Draw. Turn.
Good.
I'll take two.
Sure.
Turn. I don't think it really matters against us.
Done.
Yeah, I'm done.
I think states the obvious here, playing into that the idea that each player will be playing mill, knowing that he can just drop his hallowed fountain, pay that shock life.
Good.
Yeah, not so much worry about life this game.
Turn.
And turn. Draw card.
Shaking his head, Jake's hand a little down. It's good to see two control players play at a fast pace instead of holding things down.
Turn.
Same turn.
Counter.
Ooh.
Pay 1.
Sure.
Going for the Sphinx. Jake bringing him out with the counter. That is deadly. Now he's not going to have those cards in his hand.
That was definitely a risky play on High, watching for those cancels.
And that's what I was talking about. Jake having that mana open, not knowing what he's holding, not knowing if he has that counter spell ready or not.
Dissipate.
And then here comes Lingering Souls.
A second counter spell on there.
Second counter spell dropped on Lingering Souls. Jake definitely doesn't want anything put into play, and the dispel for the counter on the counter.
Nice.
Those Lingering Souls are lingering.
Yeah.
They don't go away.
This is bad, because now it's resolved, and he can also bring it back.
Now, there's There's
Ooh.
there's an
Lose to
Obzad.
a game too.
I've
That
never seen a player lose with an Obzad in. Obzad is a
Turn.
heavy hitter. He will go back out in between his turns, and he'll come back in, and he will do damage upon each arrival.
Take two.
So at each rival, does he give
I'd
two
say
and
how'd
take
you
two?
gain
Yes, he
life?
does.
You should.
So Obsidian is
shocked
sort of like
yourself.
the
You're
Should be.
18. I'm 16.
Oh, okay.
so Obsidian is sort of like the Santa Claus of magic. You know, he brings you presents and he takes presents away. A really cruel
He's
Santa.
a really cruel Santa. Yes, that is.
Alright,
really
untap,
odd analogy.
upkeep.
I was thinking of a double extort, especially with the color schemes.
Second.
Oh, and we dropped the
Oh, now
he
what
drops
did
an
he just
instant
do?
that has Jake target and sacrifice a
Spring
creature of his
Verdict.
own. While Jake is only playing with one creature, that obviously means he's going to have to sacrifice his Obsidian now. Jake
He
goes.
just Supreme
Jake
Verdict.
follows up with a Supreme Verdict, dropping those tokens.
Turn.
Straight into highest turn.
That's
He
a good
flashes
thing.
back his lingering souls. I tell you, they don't go away. Was I not right? They are
Keep him
lingering,
back.
Resolve.
What?
and that is
Lingering
very
Souls?
frustrating against
Yeah.
any kind of deck that has pump in it.
That's the thing. You know, you think someone has the game, you think they've won, and then with a deck like this, any one card can turn everything around.
It's true.
Tension sphere.
Oh,
Which
and
one you
Jake,
target?
Jake drops the
Take your
tension,
mana.
so you're targeting
Huh?
Take your
Spirit
mana.
and a small misplay on mana, but he regulates it, and
Wait,
with,
that get-
with a detention sphere drop, it targets whatever target creature it hits. It also hits any other creature in play with the same name.
Oh,
on that
oh, wow,
battlefield.
any
That's
other-
battlefield.
wow.
It's like an Oblivion Ring on
Yeah.
Frank.
I was wondering why he was wasting
Turn.
on a 1/1, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's definitely an answer for tokens, and there's a big man's belly.
People on unicycles, men flashing the
And Santa Claus has a mug on his
yeah.
chest.
Yep.
Okay. And looks like we have an Aetherling drop. Going into late game, Aetherling has been very, very
Yeah.
helpful with a.
I think every
High's
game we've
play.
watched that High's won, it is because of that Aetherling coming on in.
If High has been winning with damage, it has been Aetherling doing it. Aetherling has been
you are
a
correct.
strong player so far, and a lot of people like to underestimate Aetherling. But with
Tension
all his,
sphere. Yeah.
looks like Aetherling's going to blink with his number one ability.
Yes.
He'll come back into play. The Detention
Oh,
Sphere loses
wow.
its target. So I mean, Aetherling.
That is right, yes. Aetherling is untouchable then.
Almost. He has to watch for his mana, and
Lingering Souls.
he has to either find a way to block it or tap the other man out. Aetherling is very difficult to get rid of, but it does cost 6. That's the trade-off here. Aetherling is a.
But with that kind of deck though, saving up for 6 mana, it's not hard at all.
It's really not, especially with these late games. It's turning into a drug out knuckle fest.
Unblockable.
It really is.
Mill decks are turning into punch decks. It's mayhem.
5.
Yeah.
A game that the first time was
Was it
nil,
17?
now they've both gone into
13?
beatdown.
I was at 22.
I hit you with Link of Souls twice.
Oh, yeah. So I'm at what? 15?
13. And you're 5.
And then Aetherling becomes unblockable, swings,
And
goes
you
right
need,
past
and
those
you need the
spirits.
shock tuner also.
Alright.
Alright.
You card you?
2.
2 cards in hand for Jake.
Go.
Well, it looks like we have the land drop for High. Puts it in a play tap. Still
Now we
tied.
know High has a lot of late game stuff. We've seen nothing out of Jake so far as being a big beatdown late game.
I've seen Jake's deck mostly stay as a late game deck. He doesn't have a lot of early game stuff other than block and control.
Swing
now.
for 2.
No box.
No block.
Jake plays a very patient deck.
Yeah. No, it is a very, very patient, waitful, and it's shown the last game. I mean, it came down to the wire.
I'll just take 2.
Take 2. So,
Jake
14.
takes the 2.
Your turn.
So now we have 13 to 14,
Alright.
but Nathaling on the field
Aetherling on the
really
field.
slows things down.
Moving into High's turn, Aetherling untaps. Let's see what we have.
Attack.
He moves Aetherling into
alright.
a tapped and attack position in his combat phase. A lot of decisions being made right here.
6.
9.
7.
He
Go.
pumps the Aetherling, swings unblockable. Well, doesn't look like unblockable since the spirits were actually tapped already. Aetherling does his damage. Looks like it's 14 to 7 now.
Jake shaking his head. Aetherling to Aetherling.
Aetherling to
Take that.
Aetherling. We have a hell of a match going here. Jake's still deciding what mana is being tapped for that Aetherling.
But Aetherling can become unblockable though, so
Leaves
it's
the
really an Aetherling race, and Jake's at half the life of his opponent.
It's true. He
For 4?
oh, looks like that Aethling is not going to be coming out. He's syncopating to keep that Aethling off. That's why he was having him canvas mana. You saw that.
Countered the Aetherling,
Yep.
and
he has him have to pay 4, and he's just out of that range. Waiting to see how Jake responds to that. Checking his graveyard. Each of them are checking
Nice
each
like
other's
Sparrow
graveyards.
again. Nice like Sparrow.
It's like a spiral.
Yeah, it looks like Sparrow.
Don't matter.
Yeah, I knew.
Got it.
Jake shows the second spiral, and
He's got it.
High's got this game. We're moving
so
into
High's, Jake scoops the high, and
moving into third match.
Yeah.
Wow, that syncopate was on point. That's all it was.
So that's the thing we're seeing with High's deck, its ability to, at
I
any
was
point,
making some big time decisions. If you noticed, he had that Jace in his hand for a very long time. I think he was watching when he was dragging out the cancels. He was definitely dragging out Jake's cancels, having him target
So he can-
some
yeah.
smaller effect creature
so we can get that
cards.
Aetherling out late game.
Exactly, and I like to see that in a player who's patient, he's watching what he's doing.
The thing is also about High's deck, we see it can either go beat down, it can either go mill, so you don't know. You don't know
It's got
what
some great versatility so far as we've seen. I definitely believe High can go one way or the other, depending upon what he's got to do. He's adapting very well, just like an Evolve deck.
Yeah, and of course, Jake's on the play now, though, so that gives him a chance to choose.
Yep.
So that gives him a little bit of strength.
I'm
over,
gonna go straight into the guess and say Jake's gonna go first.
Yep.
I mean, most players would go first in his situation that he has, just because he's gonna be able to get that mana out sooner. He's gonna be able to move on faster. He's gonna get those draws sooner. He's gonna be able to hit him with that mill faster and stronger. Each players are shuffling their respective decks.
You go first.
No, you're going to go first.
Jake decides to have High go first, changing up
Oh, check out
the
my place.
Yeah.
changing up the.
I guess Jake wants the extra draw, take as many cards out of High's hand as possible.
I think that's a very strategic play right there. It's either going to work for him or not late game. You have to think late game. Both of these players are going to be drawing their cards out one way or the other. So we're looking at to see who's going to get what they need sooner here.
Yeah.
Jake's taking the gamble and giving High the first turn land, but he's going to get that first draw.
Yeah, so that gives High a chance to be able to get the mana first counter spells out faster.
Let's see how that works out for him here. As Jake's finished shuffling, and we have the cuts.
Yeah, check out my
Oh,
place.
let's get ready for round 3.
Putting that one little hand on the bottom.
With that hand cut, you know you can't count cards out, but he did grab the hand just regularly out. That was
6,
always fun to see.
7.
See High take his
Mulligan.
first hand and
I'll
he
mulligan.
mulligans right off the bat.
Both of them mulliganing.
From what I see in High's hand, he had no land. I can't argue his decision to mulligan there.
Where's the pocket?
So we got a mulligan. Each player going on down to
We
6.
well, we don't know if they're going to go friendly yet or if they're going to go down to 6. I'm looking at it. If I was one player or the other, in this situation, a lot of times I think I want that set with the card, but I want him to have as
Exactly,
least
yeah.
options as possible.
Yeah.
I trust my deck to do what it's going to do.
If you're not on the play, you know you're drawing an extra card. You're going to have 7, and they're
Exactly.
going to have 6. You really want them narrowed down as much as possible.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point, it's really up to the players how they want to go with this situation. But in this situation, I've seen it change very easily upon that.
Well, I mean, one Snapcaster into a Sphinx of Revelation can decide everything. Can change everything.
It really can, and I myself, I've Sphinx's Revelation late game for 11 life and 11 cards. Drew myself into a Supreme Verdict, which was not so happy for the other guy.
Yeah.
We got 2. They're in the deck so far.
4, 5,
I'm good.
6. I'll keep.
Looks like both players are deciding to take 6. Both keep. First play is an Isolated Chapel. Jake drops his Hallowed Fountain, both taps. Celestial Fortress coming to play tap on High's turn.
You know we have some good control players when they are going fast in their turns.
Go.
They are not wasting any time. They're right already into turn 3 before 30 seconds even into the match.
Pay 2.
Jake pays 2. He goes into his hallowed fountain.
Lingering Souls.
Lingering Souls.
Good.
Man, and such a, it's just a good card. There's nothing I can find wrong with Lingering Souls, especially when you're running that black to flicker it back in.
Well, I mean, when you see it played in Legacy, Modern, and in Standard.
High takes the aggressive.
Ooh.
He's duressed
That's a
him. He's
good
checking
hand.
out his hand. We see an Aetherling, Sphinx
That is
Revelation
hard.
×2, a cancel which in the form of Syncopate, and Sword Lord of Innistrad.
You know, in this, I kind of want to stop, as much counter as possible, but you have the Sphinx Revelation, you have the Aetherling, you have the beatdown in there.
You do, and you gotta look at what he's got. He's wrote down
Yeah.
what is in Jake's hand. It's probably going to be cancelled. I would probably be marking those out as we go along in the game. It's definitely a...
Ooh,
looks
the
like
sword.
he drops out the sword. Wow. That's a good idea, honestly, if you're looking at the decks, how they're built up. Not many of them will be doing much damage. So a Planeswalker out there dropping more creatures is just going to get retarded quick.
Retarded quick.
Yep. You never want to go retard quick. You never go full retard.
You never go full retard. That's Belcher first turn there.
Yeah. 16, 18.
Turn.
Okay, so we see the damage hitting early, but as we saw from every game the high plays, he doesn't really care about damage. He just shrugs it off.
Well, it's the same thing with Jake. He takes his damage early, and he takes it like a man. He moves into his patient game. He turtles. He locks it down. He drops whatever he can to keep things away from him.
I
He's
decided.
really deciding on what he wants to do here.
Well, he knows what's in Jake's hand, so that gives him an advantage. He knows what to play against.
Pay 2.
Oh. See that Godless Shrine thrown in a hand right off the bat. Pays that 2.
Swing for 2.
Sure.
Swinging for 2. His spirit
Turn.
flying in the air.
16 up.
Those things can get annoying very quickly. Takes his turn, draws on taps. Big decisions being made here. Mid-range game can go as far all the way into the long range. Detention Spear on the Spears. He wants to get those off the field. He's tired of seeing that. I can't blame him. Those spirits, they linger.
Go.
Now, can you detention spear,
Sphinx
detention
for one.
spear, or is it on
You
creatures?
can detention spear. It won't matter in this situation, but with those the cards being exiled, being choked. Any other situation though, it will hit all the detention.
Hey, too.
Detention
Bring
that
them back,
player
yeah.
controlled. Now you're just
How's
talking
that?
insanity though.
Sure.
Pay 2
Yeah,
again.
Obsidian out. As we saw last time with his removal, he's not really worried about Obsidian.
I would be. Even with removal, Obsidian can be a bitch. Yeah.
Speaking of
Obsidian.
bitch, I saw a video of these push-ups.
Oh. We got a cop in the car.
When I got cop in here looking at the matches.
What's going on, buddy?
Snapcaster.
So you had to jump at 3 o'clock this morning or 4?
And a Jace.
Be at there in formation at 3 o'clock.
I
We
heard-
left at 2.
I heard after that night of that video that they may have seen, you had to be at drill.
I did.
God,
It was rough. Who let you see that video?
Now what do I do? I don't know.
You make a pile, I pick one.
Yeah. We watched, we tried to see if our officers could do push-ups like that.
I don't remember any of that.
I wouldn't say you're kidding.
Good.
Take 2 again, 2. This made 18, correct?
19.
19? Oh, yeah. I'll pay 2.
Sure.
I'll swing.
You need a Jason.
Jace.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we do a horrible job
Turn.
all the way over here, you know.
Right? Alright. Our back sees protect and play.
So we saw a Snapcaster come into play, and then Jake swung at Jace, and he blocked with Snapcaster. So he's wanting to keep that Jace alive.
Yeah. Looks like he's definitely going to be looking for new cards. And with Jace's negative, he actually pulls another Jace out of the deck. Now, we're seeing how Jake's going to be flopping these up, and it is High's decision on what he wants to pick up.
The last time
He
he did
puts
this,
land on the bottom, and Jace comes out. We see Jace drop again,
Try it unless you pay 3.
and Syncopate drops out that Jace. No luck there. Jace was definitely holding that, looking for that.
yeah.
Go.
I pulled out his land. I know Hyde is probably thinking at that point, why didn't I play my land earlier?
Well, I mean, if you notice here, High actually only has his ally lands out.
And what are
He
you
doesn't
down
have
to?
any
I'm at 10.
swamps, any islands, no plains either. So any of those ally lands are going to be still coming this late game into play tap.
Of course, again, you know,
Pay 2.
Sure.
it may look bad for him, but any Sphinx of Revelation, any Supreme Verdict, any bigger removal.
Swing for 5.
Opposite out swinging for 5. That's a big hit. Like I said, opposite out is always a problem.
Now, any of the big creature,
That
Block it.
caster mage flashes in to block opposite out.
All
or
right,
any
you
of the
done?
big creature removals like Supreme Verdict, are any of those instants right now, or are they all sorceries?
Most of those are actually going to be sorcery.
Sorceries, okay. So he doesn't really have anything on the fly he can do to try to take rid of that.
Now, are you talking about board wipes or
board
target
wipes.
creatures?
Board wipes.
Board wipes are mostly going to be. I honestly can't think of even one in standard that is a decent board wipe for this situation. In instant form.
Yeah.
It's good.
You good?
Is it good?
Yeah, I'm going to let him stay.
Go.
And turn Sphinx for 2.
So Sphinx for 2. Now Jake is just
End of High's
throwing
turn.
it out.
Yeah, he draws out 2 more cards. 2 more life, keeping him in the game. And Obstinate comes back in play.
Just at 21, correct?
Yeah. Like 19 piece shop so.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
And you're down to
8.
8.
We have 19 to 8 here in this late
19 to
game.
8.
Obstinate still in
As we
play.
saw with this game, life never matters. Life never matters. And with that Aetherling out, that really puts him in a bad position.
Either way, I'm still looking at the life totals here with the ability for Jake to just stall here. High's got to find a way to get rid of that obstacle. And then
Ooh.
Aetherling.
Aetherling against Aetherling.
Aetherling comes in, and that's going to be a heck of an ordeal to deal with. Here's the Jake dealing with his mana ratio right now, getting everything set for that Aetherling. He has 1 Hallowed Fountain left on tap.
Yes.
That doesn't leave
One
many
mana
options, but there are a few.
Now that doesn't leave Hyde with a lot of options. Hyde knows, he can come in there. Anything he plays is pretty much going to get through.
Yep.
That is a deadly position for Hyde to be in, and a risky position for Jake to be in. So yes,
Swing.
hope.
Block.
Alright. I choose the
You're
Aetherling
gonna
to
make it
block.
bigger?
Yeah.
All right, we both die.
Alright,
Ooh,
Obstinate out of
switching out
play.
with Obsidot.
Aetherling trades with Obstinate.
Yeah, now Jake's having to
Okay.
gamble in his head. Does he have the big removal or does he not? If not, that puts him in a very bad position. But if he does, that puts Jake in a bad position.
Yeah, right now we have, even if they were to draw Supreme Verdict, you gotta think that cannot be countered.
No.
So,
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's
Supreme
really.
Verdict, it cannot be countered. That's a little thing that a lot of people do not remember late game.
Swing for 5.
5 damage coming
Or 4.
High's way.
So Hyde.
No blocks?
No blocks. Looks like Jake's gonna go straight into pumping that Aetherling.
Now, is he going to go balls to the walls, try to do enough to kill him, but leave nothing open?
Give him 2 more.
2 more 7.
7 altogether.
7 good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right.
What was his play?
Now, High uses instant think twice, which allows him to draw cards.
Cards, okay, trying to look for that, something
And
to stop
he
that.
flashes it back to
Take
the
it.
graveyard
One.
to draw another card as well.
Your turn.
Now we have a dire situation here. We're at 19 to 1. High draws his card. See how he's going to play.
Of course, Hyde has a lot of mana, Jake does not.
Jake does have his 2 mana open at this time. Forbidden Alchemy comes out, and he's looking at the top 4 cards. Now he's looking back at his hand to figure out what he needs, what he has, and what he can do with it.
Yeah. Now Jake can blink out that Aetherling, so if he tries to do the removal, if he tries to go after it, Jake can make it go away. So that puts Jake in a very good position. His opponent has 1 life, and he can really slow him down there.
There is a
Ooh, a Sphinx of Relation into the
he
graveyard.
puts Sphinx into the graveyard, but from what I've seen, I'm not too unhappy with any of the decisions High's made so far.
No. That just makes me wonder if he's putting a Sphinx in the graveyard, what does he have that is better than a Sphinx, you know?
You can definitely tell High is one of those higher caliber players, and I'm just about ready to see what's happening here. And he drops the not only is a duel, he has to remove 1 card from the game back to his hand and sacrifice.
What are you doing to this one?
I'm bouncing 2 seconds.
Sack this?
Right, so Aetherling flickers out.
Good.
Okay,
Aetherling
High's
comes-
down to
That's
1
it.
mana.
That's it.
Alright.
Game.
Good go.
Oh,
That's game.
that was a
Aetherling
great
comes
game,
back
close
in,
one.
and that game.
Okay, looks like we have our winner, Jake.
And we have to agree with Aetherling.